Hello everyone, and now welcome to a game between Happy versus VortiX. This is an undead versus undead matchup taking place here on Echo Isle. This is taken from Dreamhack from the winter season. Don't want to spoil anything too much for you, but I think this is one of the games that I actually saw live, and it was an absolute blast. As I was watching it, I was thinking, wow, this is such a great game. This is such a great game. And then I realized I might be casting it. So I tried to pull away and not actually figure out the ending, and have been, well, hiding in a hole in terms of Warcraft 3 news, hoping to not actually be spoiled by the outcome. Anyways, let's go ahead and break things down in an undead mirror match. Undead versus undead. And even in years past, you could sometimes see Death Knight into, or Lich first into Death Knight. But with the way things play here on Echo Isle, and well, perhaps wanting to be able to go wide, so to speak, we might be looking at Crypt Lord versus Crypt Lord. But let's take a look at how things are going to be here. It is going to be Crypt Lord going up against a Crypt Lord. Yes, the Crypt Lord mirror match. The game, for those of you guys like, hey, it's not fair, Crota's already seen this match. It's been a week since the game was played, so hopefully I don't actually remember too much of the game, except for being like almost falling out of my seat a couple of times with how well these players played. Anyways, Happy moving out across the map already. Acolyte going to be scouting over here on the top right hand side of the map. Meanwhile, this Acolyte over here are going to go ahead and scout over here on the top left. Acolyte will be able to just take a look around here. Don't expect to see any sort of proxy ziggurat into a Nerubian tower. That would actually be rather gutsy of a maneuver, as ghouls from the lumber line would just be able to make its way over rather easily. Acolyte's doing a little bit of scouting back and forth, just wanting to see what heroes are going to be used, as the Crypt Lord is making its way down south. All right, clearing after some of those Acolytes here. I believe, yes, a little skeletal critter was taken down there, allowing for these beetles to be trained up. Still making their way down. Where is Happy going to go? Both sires pretty much playing the same exact thing. Blight is now being placed down. Acolytes making their rounds as well. This Acolyte perhaps can, after done scouting, will make its way off to the Ogre Magi here. Go ahead and try and take, or we'll make it to the Ogre Magi here, and then we'll clear out this creep camp and place down some ziggurats with that Acolyte. All right, Happy pretty much doing the same thing, just doing a little bit of scouting. VortiX now making its way back over, and VortiX may be able to set up his expansion first. Happy going to be doing a similar strategy as well. One more Acolyte already making its way down from the north, so already training up 7 Acolytes for Happy, with no additional Acolytes being trained up to follow right behind. We are getting up a Ziggurat, we are getting up a Haunted Gold Mine, as the VortiX now clears out this, well, Murloc creep camp. It is a beetles party. Yes, it is. So many beetles just, well, walking around, taking down multiple units, as it is going to be, well, very easy, and perhaps get some surrounds, especially if Happy is just trapped in the back right across here. All right, this could be very bad news. Skeletal minions, beetles, who's going to be able to use more of those? As we're going to look at VortiX, are we going to try to line up an Impale? Yes, we are an Impale, stunning out much of that army there. As well, that stun, well, follow-up Impale right there. Who's going to get the Ogre Mauler? Happy looks like he got that kill, as we do see a Lightning Shield. Are we going to see a Lightning Shield being used? And that would actually be huge, as this one ghoul of Happy is now just Lightning Shielding and burning through many of those units again. All right, damage is adding up. More beetles could get taken out. Who's going to get more experience? It looks as though Happy is almost shy, or just shy of level 3. Meanwhile, VortiX is, well, just a little bit further behind, as both sides are fighting their way through. Happy getting up to level 2 carry-on beetles first, as the beetles now make their way back off to the north. 34 supply compared to 26. Happy is a little bit behind here. VortiX does have a Nerubian tower getting under construction, but he does not, I do not believe he'll be able to stick around for very long. VortiX actually getting surrounded here. This could be very bad news, forcing a Scroll of Town portal, as this will give Happy plenty of time to make its way down here and perhaps shut down this expansion. Ghouls are already in position. A new line of units are trying to make their way off to the north, as Happy looking to just get into position here. Acolytes are looking to try and repair. Are they going to be able to repair here? Acolytes getting into position, and it looks like it is at half. Nope, there's the repair right now. Acolytes looking to repair, as Acolytes are moving back and forth again. How much damage is this going to be down here, as we see a Lightning Shield once again coming in from the Beetle of Happy? All right, VortiX trying to make its way back over. Nerubian Tower now online. Is it going to be able to get enough damage and slow down enough of these units, as VortiX is now purposely going after each individual unit, as the Acolytes are still not trying to repair. There's the repair again, as VortiX needs to hold on to this expansion. All right, fighting their way back through. VortiX and Happy are both sitting at level 3, as this damage is just going to add back up. Happy looking to finally retreat now, and the Haunted Goldmine, which was down to 200 some odd hit points, is going to be able to stay up. Meanwhile, on the bottom left-hand side of the map, Happy still behind on supply, sitting at 26 over 40. Tech to tier 2 has not started yet. Where is all of his gold going? There was a 13 supply difference. Happy falling a little bit behind here, as we are looking at a couple of ghouls finishing off Acolytes in transit. All right, one Nerubian Tower. It looks as though the Haunted Goldmine is going to be able to repair once more. Yes, it is. There is more repairing getting underway, down to 100 hit points and dropping very, very quickly. This could be bad news, as VortiX does, in fact, lose his expansion. The expansion of VortiX now taken out, as we're looking at the Ziggurats trying to get trained up here as well. VortiX still dancing around 40 over 40 supply. Ghouls of Happy are getting taken down, but the same can be said of VortiX, as both sides taking tremendous losses. Another unit going to get taken out once more. New gold mine going to be haunted. Ziggurat most likely will be repaired as well. And getting up one spirit tower for that higher damage is going to be incredibly important. However, there is a conga line of ghouls now making its way inside the main base of Happy. That is going to be a split prong attack, and really VortiX is going very heavy on these ghouls. 41 over 50 compared to 30 over 40, as these ghouls are now trying to retreat back here. Is there going to be enough base defense? That is the problem. I don't see actually any units for Happy to really defend against this swarm of ghouls now making their way inside the main base. All right, battle down to the south. Happy is going to be a little bit further behind, as we see a massive surround onto VortiX's ghoul, that getting taken out pretty easily. All right, Crypt Lord continuing to fight back and forth. There is a large number of ghouls and beetles, but off back inside the base here, we're looking at ghouls going after some of these acolytes and taking them down. More acolytes need to be trained up. All right, VortiX now pulling back here again, as Happy is going to go ahead and chase. There is a spirit, or no, another Nerubian tower coming here. That needs to be repaired. Why is it not being repaired, as it's already down to 416 hit points? Beetles now making their way back off to the north. Ghouls going after Happy's units, and there is just so many units down across here that the improved regeneration on the acolytes doesn't really seem to matter. Happy is losing a lot of gold, as VortiX now gets up to level 4 first. Beetles are going to try and engage here. A couple of VortiX's ghouls getting caught in transit, but a massive impale once more, as that level 2 impale just picking up all of the units, dropping them back down, and dealing terrible, terrible damage to all of these Crypt Lords. To all of the Crypt Lords and all those units. Wow, what the heck happened here? Let me fix that. All right, overlay chat is in mid-air. I'm sorry, not quite sure what happened there. Yeah, that's the reason why I leave that up on the side. Okay, continuing to fight back across here. Impales going down and across here. A major impale going across multiple units, as the ghouls, well, battling it out here. Home field advantage really not taking or showing anything, as Happy is, well, down to 500 hit points and starting to drop very quickly. Though that ring of protection providing additional hit points is going to be very helpful, as the ghouls of Happy are now trying to back away. Happy down to, what, 289 hit points on that Crypt Lord, as it's continuing to back up again more and more. All right, is Happy, well, cornering himself? It looks as though he is. Happy has nowhere to go. Is he going to be able to get to level 4? No, he is not. Scroll of Town Portal to try and retreat, but a lot of damage has already been done. This mass ghoul mirror does really look crazy and nuts. There are, what, 2 Nerubian towers here hitting different targets. Acolyte, well, low on hit points, dropping very quickly, needs to wander around. And, well, as you can see, the improved regeneration on the Acolyte actually does make quite a big difference. As soon as he starts to walk around, there's really no chance for a single Acolyte to be even taken down for 2 or 3 ghouls if there are 2 Nerubian towers here. Do you prefer it old Fiend versus Fiend? Actually, I liked this Ghoul versus Ghoul. Fiend versus Fiend. Just there's not as much spacing. There's not as much traffic. The old style play with Fiend versus Fiend is very nice here. Happy going to try and engage here, down to 220 hit points. Swirl of Healing was being used. Happy trying to make his way back out, down to 540 hit points, down to 16 hit points, down to 5 hit points, and he is going to buy a potion of invisibility and the Dust of Appearance. That Crypt Lord was down to 5 hit points, about to be taken out. VortiX does not have any mana whatsoever. A blind impale could make a very big difference. I think VortiX bought the potion of invulnerability, thinking that that is what Happy was going to do. Happy ends up buying the potion of invisibility and the dust of appearance in order to make its in order to dodge that bit of damage. He was down to 5 hit points and still able to survive. If VortiX was able to finish off the Crypt Lord, not only would the death of the Crypt Lord be huge, it's the time lost in that Crypt Lord and the extra gold spent to try and resurrect that would have been the problem. All right, VortiX is pushing on here. Crypt Lord down to 120 hit points, still rising back up. Is the Crypt Lord going to accidentally get a major impale off as the ghouls are now making their way through? More ghouls are now coming in as well. 47 supply compared to 40 as damage is adding up. Double Nerubian towers at the expansion as ghoul after ghoul is just trying to finish off some of these units. All right, VortiX getting very close, getting close to 5, but Happy is in fact at level 4 as well. So level 2 Impale is in the works as the units are trying to fight their way through. All right, Ghoul is going to be able to get in front of the Crypt Lord. Crypt Lord down to 216 hit points, being forced away. Meanwhile, back across here, VortiX is still going after all of these units. Perhaps going to be able to get one of those acolytes. No, just having a difficult time across the board as we're looking at, the Crypt Lord, getting a Staff of Teleportation, and perhaps will be able to join back in on the fight. 51 supply compared to 43. Mass ghouls fighting their way through. And remember, these are both just 50 supply armies as we're looking at level 5 Crypt Lord as a Staff of Teleportation coming in. Level 5 Crypt Lord, level 3 Beetles out onto the battlefield. Very, very powerful. 20 to 27 damage. Actually twice as strong as a ghoul in terms of hits or attack. The only difference, I believe, is the attack speed. Is it just average versus fast? I think ghouls have a faster attack speed, so it's not quite twice damage. Don't want to do the math right now. Carry on Beetle still making their way through. 53 supply compared to 40. Happy looks like he will be able to hold off this location right here as the ghouls are just going after all of the larger beetles that are just being left behind. No mining coming across. 10,000 gold still left here as these beetles are looking to retreat back. And are these beetles going to give Happy level 5? It may be able to do exactly that as this one beetle. Let's see if it is enough. It's going to be 25 experience, yes, or 30 experience, giving level 5 to Happy's Crypt Lord. All right, VortiX at 5.25. Meanwhile, Happy sitting at a solid 5. Level 3 Beetles as well. We could be going into, level 3 Impale at level 6, as both sides have tech to tier 2, I believe. Nope, Necropolis just now teching to tier 2. Meanwhile, VortiX should be able to get a Death Knight very quickly, and we are going into Triple Crypt. Triple Crypt, there's that Altar of Darkness. Ghouls are now going to make their way over as this is a ghoul-on-ghoul battle. All right, units going to continue to try and fight their way through here. Let's see how much damage is going to be added up as those beetles are trying to retreat back. Crypt Lord is showing up, and he does have mana. A mana pot is going to represent a large amount of damage. There goes a quick Impale as well. Ghouls should end up getting taken down. All right, one ghoul getting taken down off of that Impale. Another ghoul getting taken down by on VortiX's end as the units are still trying to retreat. Is VortiX going to line up a big Impale? Yes, there is 1 or 2 ghouls already lost there. A third ghoul could get taken down. There it goes as well as VortiX getting in some big Impales, but Happy, not to be outdone, does the same thing. Ghoul after ghoul is following. Level 5.6 versus 5.2. Low hit point ghoul for VortiX. Able to finish off another ghoul here as VortiX needs to retreat away. Are we going to see enough mana? What is going on here? There's a Scroll of Healing quickly being used as the engagement could still keep on going. All right, we're looking at the engagement here. VortiX is a ghoul down to 18 hit points as it's going to go ahead and try and retreat back. Is Happy's unit's going to regroup here as well as VortiX going to make its way back across? No, not going after that just quite yet. Are we going to see a surround on Happy? Yes, Happy is surrounded right there, taking a large amount of damage, trying to be able to break through, and does in fact do it once more. A sea of ghouls and the beetles just keeping next to the crypt, being able to stay strong. Coming back around. 59 supply compared to 43. VortiX actually a little bit mining a little bit less gold right now since he is in high or low upkeep compared to Happy's no upkeep. 14 gold a second versus 20 as Scroll of Protection and Scroll of Healing or a Scroll of Protection being used right there. All right, VortiX's Crypt Lord at level 6, almost at level 6. We could get to level 6 here for level 3 Impale, which would be a very big deal as there goes the Impale. There's level 6. And well, does get to level 3 Impale, but had to use the Impale to get there. All right, a couple of ghouls could get taken down once more. There they go. They are continuing to get taken out. Level 3 beetles still popping up out of the woodwork as well. Talking about popping up, VortiX's ghouls all hanging up in the air for a little bit of time. Happy does have a large amount of oh, wow. The Scroll of Town portal in time for the save right there. Happy, if it had another second or two, could have perhaps impaled many of those ghouls, taking them down. VortiX able to escape with, well, a large amount of low hit point ghouls. Good day. Hello, everyone. Quadruple crypt for VortiX. Actually, 1, 2, 3. Where's the quad? 1, 2, 3. Is there one down here too? Or was it taken down? Am I just blind? Oh, 4. There it is. Thank you. All right, Beetle's going to be coming back through here. Happy continuing to engage mass ghouls in this matchup as we see a quick impale being brought back over. Gargoyles now in the air going after those Beetles. Should be able to take them down quickly. Is Happy going to counter with Gargoyles of his own, or will he perhaps be trying to go for, well, Crypt Fiends? It looks as though Gargoyles of his own. We are looking at an Altar of Darkness being summoned up, and we don't see a Death Knight as of yet from VortiX. Ghouls now making their way in across the other side here. The Altar of Darkness is available. A new Ziggurat is getting added in. Acolytes are just running around as well as the Nerubian Tower here. Staff of Teleportation coming across as all of a sudden Happy shows up to the party with the Crypt Lord himself. All right, ready to bring on the hurt. There goes a whole bunch of ghouls here. They look like they could end up getting taken down pretty fast, as well as unit after unit is going to end up getting lost. A Scroll of Town portal for a tactical retreat and re-engagement off in the base of Happy on the bottom left. All right, Echo Isle. There goes a major impale by VortiX, and that's going to be a lot of damage. Oh, a big heal being used right across there as we're looking at the Gargoyles trying to fight their way through. However, VortiX has a good surround on that entire army there as ghoul after ghoul will fall. 48 supply compared to 35. Somehow Happy is still holding on to this game, even though it feels like he is behind, as Happy now makes its way back down, uses a Scroll of Protection to try and save these units, and a massive impale across all of these units here. VortiX has multiple very low hit point ghouls. Are they going to be able to make it out? Happy has enough mana for an impale, but the ghouls able to escape away, but the Murlocs getting in on the fight. 2 ensnares, and that means that is most likely going to be the death of more ghouls here. No. Are they going to be able to retreat? VortiX trying to retreat back. There goes another ghoul getting taken down. The Murlocs joining in on the fight to beat up on VortiX, as Happy even getting the map to fight for him. All right, constant pushes back and forth. Are we looking at another Altar of... No, we still do not see any additional heroes. At some point, a second hero, a Death Knight, would be extremely useful, as we are now seeing VortiX unsummon these additional crypts. VortiX is now down to 35 supply. I believe this is the first time since the opening minutes of the game that Happy currently has the supply lead. Gargoyles going after some of these units down to the south here, as damage is starting to add back up. Main gold mines, what, 3,800 and 30,200. About 6 minutes of mining left between the two of them, as well, Happy could end up losing a couple of obsidian statues. That could be a very big deal there. All right, more damage adding in again, as the obsidian statue, if it gets taken down, represents a lot of hit points for this very, very wide army. All right, so far, VortiX continuing to battle it up here. Has double potions of invulnerability. Gargoyles could try and engage here. There's an impale on the Crypt Lord, as the Crypt Lord of VortiX is a little bit too far to the back. Here, no vampiric aura either, as, well, Happy is trying to retreat back once more. All right, who's going to come out ahead here, as we're at 37 supply compared to 32. VortiX once again taking the supply lead, but he is fighting in his opponent's space, trying to finish things off. A major impale, finishing off some beetles there, as 3 beetles could get taken down. And, well, that is, even though they are only summoned units, are very, very precious, representing a large amount of damage. All right, as the Gargoyles are backing away, the Nerubian Tower and that normal damage representing a very big threat for those Gargoyles, as those Gargoyles end up getting slowed and unable to fight back with even numbers against the Gargoyles of Happy. Happy now retreating back once more, level 7 on both Crypt Lords, as the units make their way back off to the north. All right, it is Carapace upgrades over Carrion Swarm, or not Locust Swarm. Happy having Locust Swarm as Carapace upgrades currently on VortiX. VortiX with that Carapace upgrade has very high armor, and if the ghouls and the beetles are trying to surround and take it down, it wouldn't actually be able to do so as easily. That carapace upgrade, that spiked upgrade, so powerful that it actually damages back any melee units that try and attack it. However, going for Locust Swarm may actually ultimately be better as we are transitioning more and more into air units. The question ultimately is going to be, wait, did he accidentally use a potion of invulnerability? Okay, VortiX accidentally uses a potion of invulnerability right there. I thought he was either going to try and sell it or do something. We'll see if that comes back to haunt him. A potion of invulnerability, not inexpensive at all. And, well, VortiX, well, we'll see if that mistake comes back and to hurt him. Meanwhile, Crypt Lord going to finish off the remainder of these units down to the south here. Gargoyles are, in fact, healing up once more. Crypt Lord is on the move, doesn't have that much mana. Obsidian statue. Yep, there is an obsidian statue for Happy, and that's the reason why Happy can go for, go for that locust swarm, because the obsidian statue can still replenish the mana on that Crypt Lord. Unless, oh wait, no, alchemist. Okay, alchemist second. VortiX finally bringing up a second hero, and it is an alchemist and versus a death knight. All right, fighting back here. Alchemist also has the auto air attack, which is, well, represents a large amount of damage without having to go for an orb of darkness. Meanwhile, Happy finally launches his locust swarm to deal damage across all of these units here. All right, Crypt Lord damage is rising up rapidly as VortiX and all of these units are continuing to fight their way. Acid Bomb representing negative armor across all of Happy's units as an Impale goes down. VortiX still trying to fight here as damage is starting to add up more and more. Happy, however, has the Death Knight and is able to finish off the Alchemist with no problem. Alchemist does get up to level 2 during that time, but forced to retreat with no easy heals. That Locust Swarm still in effect. 35 supply compared to 37. Death Coil trying to, well, heal up some of these beetles as the bit of trouble trying to break free here. Gargoyle is going after some of those units, or after the units pretty freely. And what is going on here? The Crypt Lord able to absorb a lot of damage with that additional armor, coupled with the fact that the Death Coil cannot nuke that Crypt Lord. Are we getting into tier 3? Yes, Happy going into tier 3. Does that mean we will see a Lich? Meanwhile, the Alchemist is getting resurrected as we are also going into tier 3 by VortiX. All right, additional level heroes getting into play. Alchemist needs to get resurrected. More ghouls will be brought back over as we are down to a minute of mining in the main bases, pretty much. A minute or two as Happy, well, lost a little bit of mining time earlier. Death Knight creeping alongside that Crypt Lord right here. Level 2 for that Death Knight. Unholy Aura. Crypt Lord now looking to back. What is gonna? It should be backing away to try and give more experience to that Death Knight. Does back away in time. Death Knight gonna be well further along to level 3 here as it picks up a Pure Up of Vitality. Meanwhile, Alchemist. Well, Alchemist nowhere to be found. Is he? No, just now getting resurrected. Does have some potions of healing and potions of mana. Still no obsidian statues by VortiX. And the problem is, like, even if you just build one obsidian statue and leave that obsidian statue back at your base, it does represent hit points and mana for your heroes. And as this game continues to go on, and mana on these obsidian statues make a larger and larger difference, I believe Happy is going to slowly start to pull ahead here, even though he's been behind throughout this match. Well, we are not going to have healing spray on the Alchemist either. All right, so no easy healing for VortiX at all. Only potions of healing and scrolls of healing, opting to go for Chemical Rage over healing spray. All right, units getting ready to engage right now. We are seeing a Lich out onto the battlefield. No third hero coming in from... come on. No third hero coming in that I see, unless it's going to be a Tavern hero. What would that be? A third Tavern hero, a Beastmaster third? That would just be a giant bullseye target onto that level 1 hero. The Alchemist still makes sense as a late game hero because it has high hit points and low armor, meaning that it cannot get nuked down by level 3 Death Coil, level 3 Frost Nova, or the undead nukes nearly as easily. All right, Lich does have a Claws of Attack and Orb of Corruption already representing plus 12 damage. That's going to be a big deal as the units are trying to engage. Gargoyle is going after those units. Frost Nova across multiple Gargoyles as that slow was absolutely huge. Web coming back down across now. Locust Swarm now coming into play as well. Are we going to see Locust Swarm coming in from VortiX? Not quite yet. There it goes, Locust Swarm. So both sides having Locust Swarm, and this is a major bug infestation. Crypt Fiends, Acolytes joining in on the fight as well. VortiX trying to bring over units as we could be looking at the death of VortiX's Alchemist down to 200 hit points already. All right, Gargoyle is trying to engage. VortiX at 44 supply compared to Happy's 55 as the Crypt Fiends are getting taken down as well. Who is losing more? So difficult to say as the Obsidian statues are falling as well. 49 supply compared to 48 right now, about even as another Obsidian statue of Happy is going to get taken down. The Happy still has one Obsidian statue across here as well, the damage is still adding back up here. A bunch of, a Happy's Lich finally getting up to level 2 can start using Dark Ritual perhaps onto some of those beetles, and by using it onto those beetles, getting in some major damage. All right, there goes a major impale right there. Happy's Death Knight is in trouble. Are we going to see a potion or Swirl Town Portal transferred over? Yes, we are. Down to 30 hit points, and Happy saves a hero with less than 50 hit points again. Happy really coming out of that fight with minimal losses again, getting every hit point out of his heroes as we're looking at, more Obsidian statues added in. VortiX making its way back over. Ghoul still out and about here, still running on 2 crypts as a couple of these, I don't know if that was an unsummoned building or not. VortiX now unsummoning Ziggurats to stay in low upkeep. All right, meanwhile, the Lich of Happy finally clearing out this green creep camp off to the north. There are still a few creep camps left out on the battlefield as the Alchemist is at level 3 with level 2 Acid Bomb. Happy has pretty much outlasted his opponent VortiX throughout this match, and looks as though he may be able to finally come out ahead. The use of Obsidian statues and also having that Death Knight for heal, a very big deal. I don't see an Orb of Corruption on the Crypt Lord. Not quite sure why we don't see an Orb of Corruption, as the Orb of Corruption is just that powerful. All right, Orb of Corruption, negative armor, Alchemists, being able to take down some of those gargoyles would be a big deal as well. Whenever I have enough of seeing Echo Owls, it brings us games like this. So far, it is going to turn into a game of gold, and who will be able to use their economy better. VortiX, he is still mining on 1 base right now. We are looking at the Alchemist trying to get closer to level 4, creeping by himself. Meanwhile, the Crypt Lord, gonna back away here, and both sides will have access to that Locust Swarm ultimate ability. Alchemist gonna benefit from getting in a little bit more healing as well, as we're seeing the Renegade Wizard's gonna get taken down, or more experience. I mean, Renegade Wizard's getting taken down. Claws of Attack +9. That represents a large amount of damage for that Alchemist, as we are seeing full items on both the VortiX's Crypt Lord. The map ends up having a lot of stalemates over time, where both sides are trying to stay on 2 bases, and you see these weird tug of wars, but you often get into these situations where, like, in between the 17 and the 25-minute mark, no one's engaging each other. Both sides want to make sure that they don't make the mistake and then end up overcommitting. VortiX, if he loses this game, it is going to be because he tried to finish out his opponent inside and Happy inside his base, even though he had Nerubian towers up, and he overstayed his welcome, and that is going to be what ultimately ends up being his downfall. Fighting in an unfavorable position, and now going into the end game with limited resources. Only 80 seconds of mining here, 132 seconds of mining here. I like CH better. Concealed has more modern EI with 5 bases. Yeah, a reason to fight over the center, a reason to fight in the middle somewhere, at some point of interest, really makes Concealed Hill a great map. It is naturally a king of the hill map with that odd number of base, that fifth base in the center being a reason to actually fight and engage as opposed to having slow moments in the matchup. We haven't had a slow moment in this game though, as VortiX was really pushing hard into Happy for quite some time. Now we do see that the Alchemist has gone for Healing Spray, and Healing Spray is a very useful ability. And now we can see that VortiX has a way of healing back up his units as the Alchemist gets quite a bit of mana. 26 intelligence. You can see that mana coming back online. And well, it's going to really come down to this next fight here. 60 over 60 supply compared to 49 over 60. VortiX getting every bit of gold he can out of this gold mine, perhaps before breaking back up into low upkeep. Northern Isles has 6 bases, so it's an equal number, but the shape of the map makes for more dynamic games. Yep, that is true. Tinker third would be so good. Um, what would the Tinker? Well, I guess you could use the cluster rockets as the third ability there. What item is that going to be? Ooh, that's a Circlet of Nobility. That is, in fact, real a decent item to be had. Is that just going to be left behind? Meanwhile, we are looking at at the Crypt Lord making its way down. Dust of Appearance. The Shade is not going to be able to catch or see that there is a Circuit of Nobility off to the north. Happy would nuke any undead hero as third instantly. That is true. Level 2 Death Coil, level 1 Frost Nova, and level 3 Impale would be a very quick death of a hero, to say the least. Dark Ranger doesn't make sense. Lich could come into play to try and get Orb of Corruption as well. Especially with the Circuit of Nobility available. VortiX does have an invisible Crypt Lord, but there's a Shade right behind him. So Happy knows about this Crypt Lord and is not going to have any problems whatsoever. This is walking into a trap, and you know it. However, VortiX, I think he walked up to the sacrificial pit and noticed it, and now is walking back. Dro Ranger, this is Dark Ranger. This isn't Dota. Vortex, and this is the moments in Echo Isle where you want something to happen. There is no reason for VortiX or Happy to engage just quite yet. He has anti-magic shell. He has the obsidian statues. He's going to wait until he's high on mana and then ready to go. Meanwhile, VortiX didn't want to fight against his opponent's engagement just quite yet. As we see an Impale now come across there was that Impale coming across multiple units. Are we going to see a Scroll of Healing? Frost Nova right there saving some of those units. Locust Swarm now coming back across here. Web now being used. VortiX 57 compared to Happy's 68. The anti-magic shell protecting against much of the damage from the Impale. Absolutely huge as a level 3 Death Coil just in time to save Happy's Crypt Fiend. All right, more Impales could be coming underway. There's the Impale, and there is that anticlimactic ending that is so typical of Echo Isle. That last battle, VortiX pretty much knew with the anti-magic shell that he wasn't going to be able to bounce back. We didn't see that dramatic ending. The middle portion of that game, absolutely so great, with Happy being able to save a sub 10 hit point Crypt Lord, and then follow that up with saving a sub 50 hit point Death Knight. And those two key critical moments could have swung the game back in favor of VortiX. Happy with some incredible spot on micro and also just better resource management in the end. VortiX spending a little bit more gold stuck in upkeep, and that 1,000 gold difference was ultimately the 10 extra supply that Happy had in that final battle. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.